The day I faced my mortality, I smiled. Not because I welcomed it, but because I had finally discovered what truly made me unbreakable. It wasn't my intelligence. It wasn't my skills. It wasn't even my reputation. It was something far more powerful, something you already possess. They'll tell you that power comes from controlling others, from defeating competitors, from bending circumstances to your will. They are wrong. These are illusions of strength that shatter when truly tested. Real power, the kind that cannot be taken from you, comes from mastering yourself. When everything external is stripped away, your reputation, your abilities, the opinions of others, what remains? This is the question that reveals true strength. This is the test few are willing to face. You've been taught to seek validation outside yourself, to measure your worth through achievements, through recognition, through the eyes of others. This path leads only to emptiness, a vessel that must constantly be refilled by external sources will always run dry. I learned this truth through sacrifice and loss. Standing before my own family, I made a choice that would brand me a traitor in the eyes of everyone I loved. In that moment, I discovered the unshakable center that no external judgment could touch. This center exists within you as well. Think of the moments that nearly broke you, the failure everyone witnessed, the rejection that left you hollow, the loss that emptied your heart. You survived, not by chance, but because somewhere deep within, something refused to surrender. This is your unbreakable core. Most never discover this inner fortress because they never allow themselves to be truly tested. They avoid discomfort. They run from judgment. They hide from their deepest fears. In doing so, they remain strangers to their greatest strength. The path to this power follows three principles I discovered through years of walking in shadow. First, embrace solitude without becoming isolated. Many fear being alone with their thoughts. They distract themselves with noise, with activity, with the constant validation of others. Yet true clarity emerges only in quietude. Each day, create space where you face yourself without distraction. Not to torture yourself with regrets or anxieties, but to grow comfortable in your own presence. The person who needs constant companions reveals a fear of their own company. I spent years in an organization surrounded by powerful individuals, yet completely alone in purpose. This solitude didn't weaken me. It clarified exactly who I was beyond all external identities. It revealed what remained when everything else was gone. Your strength cannot depend on constant validation. Learn to stand firm when no one stands with you. Second, transform pain into purpose. Pain will find you regardless of your choices. Loss, failure, betrayal. These are not optional experiences in a life fully lived. The only choice is what you will create from these inevitable wounds. When I became ill, knowing my time was limited, I didn't curse this fate. I incorporated it into my purpose. The very weakness that drained my body sharpened my resolve. What appeared as disadvantage became strategic advantage because I refused to see it only as limitation. Your wounds are trying to teach you something essential about yourself. Listen to them. The rejection reveals where you've placed too much value on others' approval. The failure exposes where your approach needs refinement. The loss illuminates what you truly value. Don't just endure your pain, transform it. This alchemical process turns lead into gold, suffering into strength, wounds into wisdom. Third, anchor yourself in unchanging purpose. The world will demand you change directions with every shift in circumstance. One day they'll call you hero, the next, villain. What you thought was certain will reveal itself as temporary. What seemed solid will prove itself illusion. In this constant flux, you must identify what remains unchanged within you. Not your roles, not your abilities, not even your relationships, but the core principles that define your existence. My every action, from joining elite groups to infiltrating powerful organizations to my final confrontation with my brother, flowed from a single unchanging purpose that anchored me through years of isolation and misunderstanding. While those around me saw only contradiction, within me existed perfect consistency. Your unbreakable nature emerges when you identify the purpose that transcends circumstance. This isn't a goal to be achieved, but a principle to be embodied, regardless of success or failure, praise or condemnation, gain or loss. When you stand for something eternal, you cannot be moved by the temporary. Many watching this seek techniques, shortcuts, easy answers. I offer none of these. The path to unbreakable strength isn't found through accumulating more, but by discovering what remains when everything external is taken away. Try this. Imagine losing everything. Your abilities, your position, your relationships, even your identity as you currently understand it. What would remain? The answer reveals your true foundation. Some fear this exercise because they suspect nothing would remain. Their entire sense of self depends on external validation and achievement. This is the most dangerous way to exist, building your house on shifting sand rather than immovable stone. If you find this center within yourself, this core that cannot be broken regardless of external circumstance, you will have discovered what took me years of darkness to find. Those with clear vision see through all illusions except the most dangerous one, the illusion that strength comes from anywhere but within. I faced my mortality with a smile because I had already faced something far more difficult, the truth of who I was beyond all masks and expectations. Having survived this deeper challenge, physical death held no terror. You have this same power waiting within you, not as potential to be developed, but as reality to be uncovered. Beneath the layers of doubt, beneath the need for validation, beneath the fear of inadequacy, your unbreakable nature already exists. Stop searching for power in the eyes of others. Stop measuring strength through external metrics. Stop believing that something outside yourself will make you complete. The day you face your final battle, whether others call you hero or villain, will matter far less than what you know yourself to be. This inner certainty, this unshakable center, is what transforms ordinary individuals into legends. This is what makes you unbreakable. Not because you never fall, but because you know exactly who you are when you rise again.